Hi, I'm Amy Schrader with RE/MAX Real Estate 10. Today I want to talk to you about how long should you stay in your home before you sell it. Now, if we look at statistics, the National Association of Realtors says that most people live in their home for 10 years before they sell it. But things don't always go as planned. You may have been in your home less than 10 years, but you're ready to sell. So what we tell you is that, 5 years is really a good point. You don't want to buy a house and then try to sell it a year later. If you've been in the home about 5 years, then you're usually okay to try and sell it and maybe be able to make a little bit of money. But obviously there's a lot of factors that you have to look at in order to see, is it a good time for you personally to sell your house? The first one is obviously going to be your mortgage. When you go to sell, you need to be able to price the home for more than what your mortgage payoff is. And when you first take out a mortgage, especially a 30-year, you're paying more towards the interest than you are the principal balance those first few years. So that's going to be an important thing. Did you take out a 100% loan? Did you put money down? What is the balance of your mortgage versus what's a realistic sales price that you can get, and then looking at the other factors of paying commission, things like that. So that brings us to point number 2, is the equity that you have in your home. If you bought your home, 4 or 5 years ago, but you've not done anything to it, you've not updated anything, you've not renovated anything, that may lower, the amount of equity that you would have. Then if if you're just paying on the mortgage each month, you're going to build a little bit of equity, but doing some projects around your home to increase the value will really help you to increase your equity in a short amount of time. And that's something that you've got to play into, when you're looking at selling your home when you've only lived in it for a short period of time. Another thing that's going to take that you have to take into consideration is going to be the market condition. Is it a good time to sell, period? And right now, especially here in Hamlin County, it's a great time to sell, especially for homes that are in the $125,000 to about $250,000 price range. Those homes seem to be selling really quickly, and we've talked about that before. So you definitely want to look at what is the market. What would you be able to get for your home in today's market? Now, if you're thinking about selling and you want to know, well, what is my house worth in today's market? You can go to these websites like Zillow, and they will give you their Zestimate. Zillow's never been to your house, and so they're not going to have a clue what kind of improvements you've done, or what the floor plan of your home is, or what kind of neighborhood you're in. In order to get an accurate estimate of what your home's worth, you really need to talk to a realtor, let them come preview your home, and then they can come up with a comparative market analysis for you. If you're looking to sell and you would like to get a CMA, then you can go to freehomemarket.report. That's freehomemarket.report. Fill in some information for me, and I will be happy to actually create a real comparative market analysis for you that looks at homes in the immediate area around your house that have sold and help you get a realistic idea of what your home is worth. Some other reasons that you may be looking to sell in a shorter period of time is that you just don't have enough space in that house anymore. If you bought your home and it was your first home, you had just gotten married, maybe you had one child and now you've got, the second child, third child on the way, whatever. Sometimes you just run out of room in your current home and you do need to upgrade. So that would be a good reason to sell in a short period of time, as if your family has expanded somewhat. And on the flip side of that, maybe you've got too much space now. Maybe you bought a house right as your kids were going into high school, and now you're an empty nester. So you have, a 4,500 square foot home, and nobody's really living there except for you and your spouse now. So that would be another good reason that you may need to consider, selling in a less than 5-year time frame. Looking at the capital gains tax, that would be something, if you've not lived in your home for at least 2 years, what is the capital gains tax going to be? Is that something that could, hinder you from being able to make a profitable sale so that you can move on, to the next home? Closing cost. You definitely need to take that into consideration if you're looking to sell. You're going to have to pay commission, of course, on the sale of your home, and then you're going to have closing costs on the house that you buy. So those are things that you have to think about. Are you going to be able to make enough money selling your home to cover the commission, to cover the closing cost, those types of things? And those are your factors that you need to be looking at. I gave you 7 factors that you need to think about. You may have lived in your home for 50 years and you owe nothing on it. So obviously this would be a great time for you to sell. You may want to do some updates or something to it. But I've had some people who have bought a home, and then a year to 2 years later have called me and said, hey, things have changed. We need to sell. We need to buy closer to Knoxville, or my job has relocated me out of state. And we have been very successful in helping those people to sell even in that short time frame. One of them really didn't make any money. It was a wash because they had done 100% VA loan. But at least we were able to get them, to the point that they weren't bringing money to the table in order to sell that house and move to the next one. Again, if you're thinking about selling and you would like to get a real comparative market analysis for your home to find out what it's worth in today's market, you can go to freehomemarket.report, freehomemarket.report, and fill in some information for me. I'll reach out to you and I will give you a true, accurate estimate of what your home is worth in today's market. Okay? So if you have questions about selling, or if you have questions about buying real estate right now, feel free to reach out to me. My cell phone number is 423-748-8811. I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks so much for watching.